hello, hello, and welcome to ritual iteration number 6 of the Temple of Grief. And today, what I want to focus on is the archetypal influences to what we might call our national identity. And I want us to be, I definitely recommend you grab either a journal or a sketchbook or something, because I think you're going to want to just make a mental note of what is coming through for you. And I am actually looking forward to this because I think it's going to be very enjoyable and enlightening. So let me take a moment to open sacred space. I'm just going to do it very briefly today. To the winds of the south, Sajamama, great serpent, come and wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to walk the beauty way, beauty in front of us, beauty behind us, beauty below us, beauty above us, beauty on either side of us, beauty within us, and beauty without us. Aho. To the winds of the west, Otorongo, mother, sister, jaguar, come into this medicine space and protect us from all intrusive energies and entities. Teach us the way beyond death, across the rainbow bridge and back, so that we may walk our destined path with courage and integrity. Aho. To the winds of the north, Siwarkente, royal hummingbird, come into this sacred space and teach us to drink only from the nectar of life, and teach us to find stillness even in motion. We call upon the ancestors, the grandmothers, the ancient grandmothers, all those who have come before and all those who will come after. Be present with us and share your wisdom with us so that we may always honor you with our words and actions. Aho. To the winds of the east, great eagle, condor, urubu, raven, all those who come from the land of the rising sun, the place of our becoming. Teach us to see with eagle eyes. Teach us to fly wing to wing with great spirit. Help us to feel that connection to source, to all that is. Aho. Mother Earth, Pachamama, Mother Gaia, the one who always supports us, from whom all life comes, to whom all life must return. Thank you, Mother, for your loving embrace. Teach us to be in Aini with all creation. Aho. Father Sun and Grandmother Moon and all of our Star Nation brothers and sisters, you who are known by 1,000 names and you who cannot be named, watch over us, illuminate our pathways, so that we may walk with clarity and purpose. Aho. So, once again, welcome to the Temple of Grief. Go ahead and just put your focus on your heart center. You can even place your hands over your heart and just feel what it feels like to inhale into those hands and to exhale through those hands. You can even imagine as if there's a nose coming right out of your heart and you're breathing in and out through your heart center. So, I've been talking to some folks about how this temple of grief, for me in many ways, I'm going to open up my widow kocha as well, so you're welcome to do that as well. And extending it over our community. This temple of grief for the impending dissolution of the so-called United States of America feels to me like the shadow work that needs to be done for specifically white America. I'm really talking to my fellow white members of the population of the so-called United States of America. Because when we look at our shadow aspects of our national identity, our national character, it helps us to become a bit more whole. It helps us to look more honestly at our history. And it helps us to recognize both the light and dark aspects of ourselves, and hopefully encourages us to be more embracing of all sorts of diverse views and perspectives as we move through this next phase of whatever we are encountering in the future. So let me just have us all do a little imagination exercise. I want you to imagine that you are in a meadow, and imagine that this meadow is warm, but not too warm. There's a nice cool breeze. The sun is shining, but it's not too hot or not too bright. And it's just a very peaceful, peaceful place. And I want you to just recognize and feel this place in your imagination as a very safe place, a very supportive place, a very peaceful place, a place that you can always return to whenever you want to just tap into that inner wellness, that inner peace, that inner sanctuary. And then what we're going to do today is we're going to contemplate and reflect on some mythic archetypes related to our national identity. So I'd like to start with a few basic ones just to kind of get us some sort of, initial vocabulary and some orienting points. So let's start out with just the figure of Uncle Sam. You can think about the Uncle Sam posters. You can think about Uncle Sam as an icon. You can think about the many different ways the figure of Uncle Sam has appeared in pop culture. And what I want you to do is I want you to just see if you can feel in your body. Who is Uncle Sam? What are the aspects of Uncle Sam? And feel in your body, how true are they? So imagine Uncle Sam in your mind's eye. Determine who that is and what he means. And then just sense for yourself how true, how authentic is Uncle Sam as a representative of the national identity or the national character of these so-called United States of America. And then once you've decided for yourself how true or how authentic that figure is, I want you to take another moment, take a nice deep breath, and just see if you can sense how you feel personally about that iconic character, that cultural archetype? Does it cause any place in your body to feel any tension or discomfort anywhere? Just notice it. And if there were any adjustments that you could make to this figure of the Uncle Sam figure to make him more honest or more truthful or more authentic, go ahead and imagine those into being. And when you feel as if you have sensed what that is, just grab your journal or your sketchbook or your notepad and just jot down whatever comes through. Whether it's a doodle or just some journaled phrases, observations, notes. Even if it just feels like smashing some color on a page, just do whatever it feels like to make notes for yourself about your positionality, your reflections on that figure of Uncle Sam. And then I want you to take a couple of nice deep breaths. As soon as you have finished making whatever notes or jottings or doodles or drawings. And then when that feels complete, find yourself back at that beautiful meadow. Allow yourself to find a moment of peace there. And then I'd like to choose a slightly sillier figure, character, archetype. Let's think of Sam the Eagle from The Muppet Show. Just bring up Sam the Eagle in your mind's eye. If you don't know who Sam the Eagle is, just imagine an eagle. And as you're imagining Sam the Eagle, see if you can just think about how you would describe Sam the Eagle to another person who had never met Sam the Eagle. And then, once you have made a mental note of how you would describe Sam the Eagle, a way to ask yourself and really see if you can sense in your body, whether it's true or not, how accurately does Sam the Eagle represent the national identity or the national character of these so-called United States of America? Describe Sam the Eagle and then sense how true that is. And then once you've made a mental note about how authentic or true that is for you, take a moment and sense for yourself emotionally, energetically, how do you feel about Sam the Eagle from The Muppet Show as a representation of the national identity or national character of these so-called United States of America? How do you feel about Sam the Eagle? Where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel it as an emotion? Do you feel it as a physical sensation? Is it joyful? Is it painful? And when you feel you have a good sense of that, go ahead and grab your journal or your sketchbook or your notepad and jot down whatever you need to do to remember this. And when you feel you have made enough of a notation or a drawing or a doodle to help you remember that. Now, I want you to think in terms of some broader archetypes. If you were to think of a national identity or a national character that was some sort of parental figure, would you characterize it as a fatherly figure or a motherly figure? Do you think of your fatherland, or do you think of your motherland, or do you think of something that doesn't really have a gender? And as you're thinking of that parental figure, I want you to imagine how you envision this parental figure that is an archetypal representative of the national character or national identity of the so-called United States of America. What kind of a father, what kind of a mother, what kind of a parent would this national identity be? Would it be compassionate? Would it be a strict disciplinarian? Would it be a nurturer? Would it be abusive? Would it be overbearing? Would it be a helicopter parent? Would it be an absent parent? How would you characterize a parental figure that is emblematic, that symbolizes the national identity or national character of the so-called United States of America? Get a really good picture in your mind of this character as true to what you believe is authentic and true to the so-called United States of America. And then sense in your body how you feel about that figure. How do you feel in relation to that parental figure of the so-called United States of America and how it influences your life? And then just jot down any notes or any sketches or doodles of what came through for you. Take a deep breath. Bring yourself back to that meadow, to that place of stillness and peace. And remember, if at any point you need to, you can always pause this video, take whatever time you need to journal or sketch or paint or cook or do whatever creative expression comes through. So now I want you to imagine if the national identity or national character of the so-called United States of America were some sort of teacher or mentor figure. How would you describe that teacher or mentor figure of the national identity or national character of these United States of America? How would you describe that as truthfully, as honestly, as authentically as you possibly can? Is it someone who leads by example? Is it someone who leads by top-down mandates? Is it someone who lifts people up? How would you describe the national identity or character of the mentor or teacher figure archetype in relation to the so-called United States of America? And when you get that clear picture in your mind's eye, take a deep breath. And then sense in your body how you feel about that archetype, about that personification of mentor or teacher in terms of the national identity or national character of these so-called United States of America. Once you've made notes about how you would describe that and how you feel about it, Go back to your meadow, take a deep breath. And then I want you to choose some sort of cultural archetype. It might be the archetype of the police of the world that often gets used to describe the presence of the so-called United States of America on the global stage. Perhaps you have an image of the Founding Fathers, and that is an archetype that you would like to draw on to examine and reflect and deepen your relationship to and your understanding of. Perhaps it is a military icon. Perhaps there is some Army or Navy or Marine identity that you want to draw upon and understand that from a deeper level. Or perhaps it is the ideal of the freedom of the press, free speech, freedom of association, freedom of religion. Perhaps that idea has some sort of personification. Maybe it's the personification of Lady Liberty. Maybe it's the personification of that presence that opens with wide open arms, welcoming arms, anybody, any immigrants looking to come here to start fresh. Choose any one of those. Describe it for yourself as truthfully and authentically as you possibly can of what that cultural archetype means in terms of its national identity and national character of these so-called United States of America. And then once again, ask yourself how you feel about that. Where do you feel it in your physical body? Do you feel it as an emotional response, as a physical sensation? And then just jot down or sketch whatever comes through for you. What I'd like to do for you is just going to do some musical vocalizations for you again. Take whatever time you would like from those vocalizations to either reflect on what you've already jotted down or choose another one of those archetypes if you want to choose a few to see what they mean to you and whether they are true or not and how you feel about them. Because what I'm going to ask you to do on your own time, once you have done this with several iconic images, is I want you to make a list of the ones you want to leave behind in whatever is the new reality that is coming, and what you would like to bring in to sort of rescue from the wreckage of the dissolution of the so-called United States of America, to bring forth into whatever is the new version of us. So what parts of the identity and what parts of the ideals of what it means to be we the people of the so-called United States of America, and decide for yourselves what you want to keep and what you want to throw out. So, to give you a little start, I'm going to do a little singing and drumming for you. Pause for a moment. you have reached the point when you feel like your journaling is complete, or your sketch is complete, or your doodles are complete, and you can come back to this place and this time in the here and now. I want to just sort of close with a wish and a thought and a desire for all of us that I've been hearing from some folks that, people are kind of uncertain or feeling anxious about the uncertainty of not knowing what it's going to look like as we face whatever is coming. And there's a couple of things I want to say. One, we never really know what's coming. And so the more we can get used to being nimble and flexible and just facing whatever comes honestly, clearly, directly, it'll make it easier to get through whatever's coming. And the other thing I want to remind folks of is, I was talking to a friend just today about what truth is in a day and age when there are so many different versions of the truth floating around there. We're basically living in doublespeak, upside down world. So when you are encountering all the noise with all the different versions of the truth and everybody telling you what you should believe to be true, this is an opportunity for us to really, really dig deep down into the core of our being and ask ourselves, is that really true for me? Is that my highest truth? Is that my deepest truth? So we're going to be asked to reflect on those kinds of questions. Everybody's going to be asked to reflect on those kinds of questions, and we are all going to need to get really comfortable with how we determine, how we discern what is true for us and what is true in a highest sense, what is for our highest good, what is the truth that is the truth we want to call in for our highest good and the highest good of all. So just remember to breathe. Just remember to recognize that we have control over the way we respond to any situation. And so as this charade, this illusion may be dissolving before us, we are here to create whatever is new and beautiful and life-affirming and compassionate and loving and kind that will replace it. So I'm just going to very briefly, in gratitude, close down the 4 directions. Thank you so much to the winds of the south and to the great serpent Sachamama for your presence in this medicine space today. Thank you for teaching us to walk the beauty way. We release you with love and gratitude. Aho. To the winds of the west, Otorongo, Mother, Sister, Jaguar, thank you so much for your protection in this medicine space today. Thank you for teaching us to walk with courage and integrity. We release you with love and gratitude. Aho. To the winds of the north, Siwarkente, Royal Hummingbird, and to the ancestors, we thank you for your presence in this medicine space, for teaching us to drink only from the nectar of life, and for sharing your wisdom. May we always honor you with our words and actions. Aho. To the winds of the east, the great eagle, condor, urubu, raven, thank you for your presence in this medicine space, and for teaching us to fly wing to wing with great eagle and to see the world from eagle eyes. Thank you. We release you with love and gratitude. Thank you to Pachamama, Mother Gaia, for your love and support that is always present. Thank you for teaching us to be in right relationship with all creation. May we always model that so that future generations may live abundant, joyful lives. And to our Father Sun and our Grandmother Moon and all of our Star Nation brothers and sisters, thank you for watching over us, and thank you for illuminating our pathway. Peace to you. Comfort on your journey to comfort, joy on your journey toward joy. And I don't want to forget, if you love this work, like it, comment, subscribe. If you really, really love this work, don't forget there is a virtual tip jar on my website. It's in increments of $5 if you want to donate $5, $10, $50, $500, however much you feel called toward continuing this energetic work that we will all call in whatever is the most beautiful, life-affirming, compassionate version of the new United States of America. See you next time.